All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about a new trend that's popping up everywhere in the world of athletic performance and recovery, and that's molecular hydrogen water. What is it? Does it actually work? And, is it something you should even consider for your own training? We're going to break it all down. So let me ask you this. Have you ever had one of those days? You absolutely crush it in the gym. You push through the pain, you lift that heavy weight, you run the extra mile, but then the next day you just feel wrecked, more broken down than built up. It is such a frustrating feeling, right? Well, it turns out there might be a very real scientific reason for that. And this quote from wellness expert Carrie Drinkwine really just hits the nail on the head. She says that without the right foundation, all that blood, sweat, and tears you put in could literally be for nothing. And that foundation, it all starts with something we probably take for granted: good old-fashioned hydration.
Yeah, before we even get into the whole hydrogen thing, we have to talk about water itself. It's kind of the silent partner in everything we do. It's the hidden driver behind your energy, your strength, and especially your recovery.
I mean, just look at this. Water is so much more than just quenching your thirst. Think of it like this. It's the delivery truck that rushes nutrients to your muscles. It's the garbage disposal that clears out all that metabolic waste. It's the cooling system for your body's engine, and it's the oil that keeps your joints moving smoothly. If you're even a little bit dehydrated, your endurance just tanks. So this is the absolute non-negotiable starting point for any kind of performance.
Okay, so you're hydrated, you're ready to go. But here's where we run into a fascinating problem, a paradox, really. The very thing you're doing to get stronger, working out, actually creates byproducts that can work against you and slow down your progress.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. It's like there are two sides to the exercise coin. On one side, you have good stress. These are signaling molecules that are telling your body, hey, build more muscle, boost those mitochondria. That's exactly what you want for adaptation. But on the other side, that same exercise is producing harmful free radicals that cause fatigue, damage your cells, and slam the brakes on your recovery. The real challenge is, how do you get all the good stuff without being totally overwhelmed by the bad?
For years, the answer was just, oh, load up on antioxidants, blueberries, vitamin C, all that stuff. But there's a huge catch. A lot of those traditional antioxidants, they're like a sledgehammer. They're non-selective. So yeah, they go in and smash the bad free radicals, but they also smash the good signaling molecules that your body desperately needs to adapt and get stronger. You could actually be canceling out your own hard work.
And this is exactly where molecular hydrogen enters the chat. The whole idea is that it's a much smarter, more surgical approach to recovery, one that works with your body, not against it.
So the magic word here is selective. According to researcher Tyler LeBaron, who is a huge name in this field, molecular hydrogen is special. It's the smallest molecule in the universe, so it can get anywhere in your body, deep into your cells. And once it's there, it only neutralizes the nastiest, most destructive free radicals. It just leaves those helpful, good guy signaling molecules completely alone. So you still get all those positive gains from your workout. And as if that wasn't cool enough, it gets even more interesting. LeBaron also calls hydrogen an exercise mimetic. Now, what does that mean? It means it actually mimics some of the positive effects of exercise on a cellular level. It flips a switch, activating these protective pathways that tell your body to ramp up its own internal antioxidant defenses. So it's not just cleaning up the mess for you, it's helping your body get better at cleaning up its own mess. So let's just pull this all together. Hydrogen acts as a redox adaptogen, which is a fancy way of saying it helps your body balance out all that oxidative stress without messing with your gains. Its tiny size, as we said, lets it get deep into your cellular power plants, the mitochondria. And maybe the best part? It's considered safe, and it doesn't give you the jitters or weird side effects like a lot of other performance supplements out there. Okay, the science is definitely compelling, but how would you, actually use this stuff? Let's get practical and see how this theory translates into an actual training plan. The advice is actually pretty simple. For a potential performance boost, drinking it about 10 to 20 minutes before you start your workout seems to be the sweet spot. Or if you drink it right after you're done, it can help kickstart that recovery process and, of course, rehydrate you. Honestly, a lot of people who use it find that doing both gives them the best results. Okay, now this is super, super important because not all hydrogen water bottles or generators are created equal.
Not by a long shot. If you're going to look into this, there are 3 things you absolutely have to look for. First, the electrodes have to be coated in safe metals like platinum and titanium. You do not want cheap metals leaching into your water. Second, look for a high-quality PEM or proton exchange membrane. And third, you want a design that actually vents out the nasty byproducts like ozone and chlorine gas. You want to make sure you're only getting pure hydrogen-infused water. And here are the numbers you should have in your back pocket. A quality device should be getting you a concentration of dissolved hydrogen, that's H2, somewhere in the 1.2 to 1.6 parts per million range. That seems to be the therapeutic window. You also want the water's pH to be neutral or slightly acidic so it doesn't mess with your stomach acid. And finally, a low TDS, or total dissolved solids reading, just tells you that the water you're starting with is pure enough for the process to work well. So, with all of this really promising talk, it is absolutely essential that we take a step back and separate the science from the hype. Let's get real for a second. Where does the actual evidence stand right now? And who better to ask than Tyler LeBaron himself? Even as one of the biggest proponents and top researchers, he's very quick to say, look, the research is exciting, but this whole field is still in its infancy. We just don't have all the answers yet. This chart gives you a fantastic snapshot of where things are. The bar for anecdotal reports, it's through the roof. Lots of people saying it works for them. The bar for small-scale studies, it's growing, it's pretty solid. But that last bar for large, long-term human trials, well, that's still pretty low. The scientific community is actively working on building that foundation, but it's just not there yet. So, what's the bottom line here? Think of hydrogen water as an enhancer, not a magic bullet. It will never, ever replace the basics: good sleep, solid nutrition, and just staying hydrated. It seems to be most helpful for 2 main groups: those weekend warriors who really push themselves hard on occasion, and elite athletes living under constant physical stress. The good news is it appears to be very safe, and the science is definitely promising. But we still need more research before we have any definitive, rock-solid protocols. And that really just leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Is this the future of athletic performance and recovery? Or is it just another trend, a drop in the ocean of wellness fads? The early signs are really intriguing for sure, but only more time and a lot more research will tell the whole story.